Hi, I'm Rena, and I'm one of the most popular girls in my high school. I'm the top in my class, and all the girls are jealous of me because boys are always trying to flirt with me. But they can try their luck. I'm not the easy type. But I have a little secret. I work as a maid at a maid cafe as a part-time job to support my family. My dad was a jerk. He left us when I was 5 years old to be with another woman. Since then, my mother was the only one supporting me and my little brother. She had to work very hard to keep the food on the table. I wanted to help my mother. That's why I started this job. We have to dress in pretty costumes and act cute to please our customers. It's not an easy job, let me tell you. Men drool over you fantasizing about you in that costume. Yuck. Well, I didn't mind it. If only the young hot ones flirted with me. Actually, I enjoyed that. But I kept my job a secret because, come on, who wants to be exposed as a maid and teased by the whole school? Until one day, we had a pink day at work. We had to dress in super sexy maid costumes, and they had to be pink. I was feeling myself in that costume. I was sure I'd get many tips, so I could buy my mom a present for her upcoming birthday. But suddenly, I saw him sitting there on the table, at the corner. It was Jordan, the hottest guy in our high school. He was this new rich kid that transferred to our school. All the girls were going crazy for him. He looked at me, shocked. I froze. He saw me in a super short dress and as a maid. Jordan's shocked face suddenly turned into an evil smirk. He waved at me saying, "Hey, hot maid, I'd like to make an order." That jerk! He was making fun of me. I walked slowly towards him and stood beside him. He was checking me out. I wanted to slap him in the face, but I said in a cute voice, "Yes, sir. What can I get for you?" I was screaming inside, but I had to act cool, or otherwise the manager is gonna fire me. Then I heard him saying, well, who knew that the most popular girl in school is actually a maid? Not any maid, a hot one. Then he had that creepy smirk on his face. He continued, "I assume that you want your little secret to stay hidden, right? If you want me to keep my mouth shut, then you'll follow my orders from now on." I didn't have a choice. I couldn't risk my reputation at school and lose my job because of that jerk Jordan. That's why I said in a low, soft voice, "Yes, sir, I'll do whatever you want." Then he stood up and leaned close to me and whispered in my ears, said, "Good girl, I'll see you tomorrow." That Jordan jerk, who does he think he is? I have to follow his orders now. Maybe he'll make me his personal maid. I got home that day tired and went to sleep early so I wouldn't think about him, nor what will happen next tomorrow. When I woke up in the morning, I found a text from Jordan saying, "Bring your prettiest costume with you. You got some work to do today." That walking, talking garbage! I'll slap him right in the face! I went to school nervous, afraid that he's gonna expose my secret in front of everyone. But luckily, I didn't see him the whole day, and nothing bad happened. But when it was time to go home, I saw him at the school gate, waiting for me. He waved and said, "Here's my pretty maid. Ready for your job? I got some cleaning to do at home. Will you join me?" Of course, I couldn't say no to him, so I just nodded. Suddenly, a big fancy car pulled over, and the driver got out of his seat to open the door, and he said to Jordan, "Sir," and held the door open to him. I was shocked. I knew that they were rich, but I didn't know that they were filthy rich. We were in the poorer side of Los Angeles, and his car was huge, and we sat together in the back seat. He sat close to me and put his hand on my thigh. At that moment, I didn't feel angry. I looked at his face, and he was really handsome. This was the first time that I noticed that he has really muscular arms and a really strong chest. I just couldn't stop thinking about what kind of orders he's gonna give me. When we arrived at his house, it was a huge mansion near Hollywood with a big gate. Wow, they're really filthy rich! We stepped out of the car and he took me to his big room. There he asked me to change into my costume. I changed in the bathroom, and when I got out, Jordan was sitting on the couch with his shirt half buttons so I could see his muscular chest. He looked at me with that flirtatious smirk on his face and said, "Oh, here comes my maid. I'll try not to be tough on you today since it's your first day here." Then he asked me to bring him some ice from the fridge and put some in his drink. I did as he asked, but I was leaning to put it in his drink. He grabbed my arm and said, "Hey, let's see if the ice tastes any different when it's not in a drink." Then he sat me on his lap. It was so cold, but I didn't mind because he was staring straight into my eyes. He was so handsome that I couldn't resist him. Then he pulled me softly by my hair and said, "There she is, my good maid. You succeeded in your first task. I should reward you." This went on for a while, until his ex-ho girlfriend showed up. Her name was Angela. She's from the same town that Jordan came from. She was also hot with long black hair. She kept staring at me the whole time and following me around. I didn't know what she wanted until one time she grabbed me by the arm in the bathroom and said, "Listen, you little hoe, I know what you've been doing with Jordan. I should warn you, leave him alone or I'll expose your little secret to the whole school." I was shocked and super angry. Did he tell her about me and about my secret job after all I did with him? I wanted to know the truth. That's why I went to his house before he got home. But what I saw there left me in shock. It was that hoe Angela dressed as a kitty cat, lying on his bed with her phone. I screamed at her, "What are you doing dressed like a stupid cat, you fatty?" She screamed back, "I told you to leave him alone. He's mine, you pig." I jumped at her, trying to rip her stupid cat ears off, and then she grabbed me by my hair and pushed me back. I couldn't believe it. She needed to get a life. As we were fighting, Jordan entered the room with his shirt off. We stopped for a moment to look at his hot body. We heard him saying, "What are you two doing here?" I replied, "I came to surprise you, then saw this hoe pretending to be attractive." She grabbed my hair again and said, "Shut up, loser! You're not supposed to be here. I'm the one for him." And we continued fighting, and Jordan stood there looking at us with a smirk on his face and then came closer and said, "Girls, there's enough of me for you two. No need to fight." He clearly enjoyed seeing two half-naked girls fighting over him. After that day, my relationship with Angela got better. We became, I guess you could say friends. Frenemies. We started showing up at Jordan's room at the same time, and we even sometimes went there to sit and watch TV together. Everything seemed good until one day Angela said, "Hey, don't you sometimes wonder what Jordan keeps in this big room? Let's take a look." I was also curious to know. That's why I agreed and started opening the drawers and looking around. We found a lot of stuff in there. Different attractive costumes, women's underwear, and also provocative male costumes. Wow, so Jordan also enjoyed wearing costumes? Why didn't he wear that stuff around us? Then we decided to check his MacBook. Well, if you were us, you'd also want to know what a hot guy like Jordan keeps in there. His laptop was without a password. It wasn't locked. Wow, he really thinks that no one can touch his stuff? We found one particular folder with a weird name. It was named My Slaves, with peach emojis? That's interesting. Slaves? Who does he think he is? We immediately opened it, and you wouldn't believe what was in it. That jerk! He has videos of me wearing different costumes. And one of me and Angela, when we're doing all that stuff together. He was filming us the whole time. And we found out more shocking stuff. A video of him in a costume with a guy. Why was he filming all that stuff secretly? Is this his secret guilty pleasure? Or was he planning to blackmail us? At that moment, we knew what to do. Well, of course, we enjoyed being with him since he's very hot and charming, but filming us in secret, that's a douche move. We copied all of the videos on a USB drive and deleted every piece of evidence on his laptop. Then we sat there waiting for him to come home. When he arrived and saw us there, he said, "Here are my beautiful ladies. Did you miss me?" Then Angela replied, "Oh yeah, we missed you, and we'd like to see you in a costume too. Why don't you change? You have a lot of them." The look on his face changed suddenly, and he said, "What do you mean? I don't do costumes." I smiled and said with a soft voice, "Oh yeah, I thought you were into them and into boys too. Why didn't you share your little secret with us, you slave?" Jordan froze right there. He couldn't say a word. He knew that we discovered his little secret, and we could make him do whatever we want. I came closer to him and whispered in his ear, "So I think I might need a handsome maid now. What do you think?" Jordan screamed, "You little!" Then I said, "Watch your language, pretty boy." I have to admit, it felt good to have control over him. He can do whatever I want. Angela and I became really good friends, closer than ever. We enjoyed bossing him around. It's kind of fun to control others who have tried to take advantage of you. As for my job, I quitted. I don't need to work there anymore. Jordan buys me whatever I want, and he even gives me money sometimes. Life's good after all. Another day in sunny California.